Yo, what is going on guys? Vomoz here and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at this mascot and learning how to make mascots like these. So let's get cracking. So first, you would want to open a baseline picture using which you will be making your mascot. I sketched my own mascots like this dragon mascot that I sketched a few days back. The important thing while making these mascots is that all the outlines have to be really dark. So let's get started. Select the pen tool, create a new layer over the mascot and start making the outline of your mascot. This is a very tedious process, but this is the only way that you can actually get a decent output. Remember that whenever you make some error, you can just undo the anchor point as you can see right here. And while you're doing this, you get to a point where your previous anchor point is wrong, but you already did an anchor point after that, which means that you can't undo it. So all you need to do is select that anchor point and just press delete anchor point by right clicking. I'll speed this up for you right now because this will take some time, and even though it does, ensure that you do it as perfectly as possible. Okay, now that all the anchor points are connected, all you need to do is right click, press fill path and fill in a color in it, white for now, and then delete the path and remove the transparency of that layer. Create another layer and this time ensure that you make an outline of these sections of the mascot, making sure that you're only making the path inside those outlines. As you can see right here, I'm leaving all the darkened parts of that section. This obviously will take a lot of time, and please ensure that all your anchor points are as precise as they can be. And like I said before, whenever you make an error, don't worry, all you got to do is undo, or like I said, delete the anchor point. Keep making new layers and don't forget to delete your parts from before, and also fill in these parts with some color, which we obviously will be changing later on. Now your aim is to just get done with all these sections. Again, I'm going to speed it up here. This will take a long time though. Now that you actually made this far into the video, I assume that you will keep watching. So please do consider subscribing to the channel for more such content on the channel. Okay, now that you're actually done with all your parts, it's time for me to tell you why we made an outline prior to this. So go back to the layer 1 which has your outline and select it and go to blending options, color overlay, and change the color overlay to black. Then reactivate the transparency of this layer, and as you can see, it adds in that contrast with all the other sections of your mascot. This is a really small thing, but it does help bring out the detail into your mascot. Now it's time for us to fill in all the other parts with color. Obviously, if you don't know which layer is which path, you can just turn off the transparency to know which path it was, and accordingly to your liking, fill in them with whatever color you want. All you need to do is go to color overlay and then change it to whatever color you want. I am going with a red and grey color palette. You can do whatever you want. I'll speed it up here. Okay, now that all the colors are filled in, your mascot already looks so good. But obviously, even our outline from before isn't actually perfect. So we need to correct all those. So create a new layer and go back to your pen tool and create these new parts to patch in all the errors that you might have done prior to this. All you need to do is fill in these parts with the color of your outline. You might want to zoom in because all your errors aren't actually so noticeable. Like this one right here. I wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't zoomed in. While you zoomed in, just check for the other parts where you need to patch up and do so. Okay, now that you're done, ensure that there are no other errors. Zoom back out when you're completely done and satisfied with your outline. You need to remember that when you're creating each of these parts, don't forget to delete them every time you make a new part. Also, make each of these parts on a different layer. Keep creating new layers because you never know when you might want to change something up later on. Now, all you need to do is select all of these layers and group them up and create a copy of this group just in case you mess something up. Now it's time to add in some detail into our mascot. Zoom in and go back to the pen tool and create a new layer and create a new path which will be shadow to each of these sections. So the way you do this is by creating the path that you wanted to and filling it up with the color black and decreasing the transparency of that particular layer to, as I said, adding the shadow to the section. Repeat this all over with each of your section. Now that you're done with each of the shadows, just look at your mascot. It looks so good. So all you need to do now is save your mascot by obviously first removing the background layer and save it as a PNG. Only a PNG. Otherwise, the background won't be transparent. And so that is how you make a mascot. Like the video if you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. It's been Vomoz and I am out.